Didn't see you there. I, I don't, I don't, I don't really know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to run into you. I am so sorry. Oh, yeah. So I was trying to just like talk to you in a normal way, but I guess I'm just gonna have this conversation with you like right now. And I'm really sorry about that. I didn't mean for us to end up here, but it looks like we are. So hi. I've been watching you. I guess I could probably say I've just been trying to make sure you're safe all the time, and for like the past 7 years, ever since you moved here, actually. And so I guess I kind of owe you an explanation for that, because you've probably seen me around, but never in the day. So I'm just gonna be straight up honest here. I'm what you'd call a vampire, not like Dracula vampire, but like, I'm pretty normal. I turn to a bat sometimes, but that's, neither here nor there. I do drain humans with their blood, there's that, but I haven't really killed anybody in like, the last 100, 200 years. I've been working on it. Anyways, I really wanted to like bump into you finally, just let you know, I really think you're cute. Also, I know you've had a lot of romantic troubles here in the city. Yeah, that would be my fault. How you go on a date with a guy, you think things went really well, and, then he disappears. Well, yeah, that was me, and it's typically me just straight up killing them. They don't very make tasty meals, so I typically just find a friend and let him know, hey, this guy needs to die. So there's that. Also, I would probably start packing your things, just in case you were to ever do disappear as well. But I mean, it's not like I'd kill you. I would just, if you were to disappear, I'd be taking you someplace. You might wonder why I'm telling you this now. I had 6 years to tell you, but here I am now, just like, let me tell you now. Well, here's the reason. So, there was a bit of a run-in, actually, like a couple weeks ago, and it seems like there's a new werewolf pack forming in the woods, far outside the city, and most vampires in the city are just gonna pack up and leave. Like, that's pretty spooky, and we don't want to deal with it. So, anyways, I'm probably taking you with. Oh, don't freak out, don't freak out, don't freak out. Okay, listen. I know you're probably really weirded out and wondering what's going on. So, I guess I'll just show you I'll show you my fangs. So, yeah, there they are. Yeah, let me retract those now. Okay. Anyways, yeah, they're pretty nice, aren't they? I actually like them a lot. But anyways, that's not the point, and I've got to get onto this. So you're coming with me. And you might wonder why that is. It's because you're really, really cute, and you've always been so nice to everybody. And I just decided I want that for myself, and so it's going to be mine now. That's just how I am. It's just how it's going to be. I really would not suggest trying to run from me, as I am just way faster than you. I wouldn't suggest trying to hide. Obviously, I can smell you like very easily. I've had the scent of your blood ever since you cut yourself a really long time ago. It was night. You were making food in your little apartment, and you were just chopping in your meat. You cut yourself. It was like the first 2-3 weeks. You were there because there were still moving boxes in and everything, and I just kind of figured it out because I flew in as a bat and then inspected stuff. Anyways, that's not the point. watched you and noticed all your actions, and I've decided that I want you to come with me. Anyways, that's not the point. The point is you're coming with me, and so I just gotta let you know, like, what exactly will be going on. So I'm gonna take you. There's like literally, it's just not a choice for you. I'm gonna take you, and you're gonna come with me, and we are gonna go wherever I decide. Possibly further upstate. I just really want to get away from this like werewolf colony. That's just not something I'm interested in dealing with. But something that I find really interesting actually about you. You have a very distinct smell to me, right? But it's not very distinct to other vampires, and one of the reasons that I'm actually taking you with me is because you're actually gonna mask my scent from the wolves as we head out. Because there's no way I can leave the city. It's basically under siege. And so I'm gonna mask my scent, and we're just gonna head out. Okay. All right. Cool. Some really important stuff I really want to get over with you. Yeah. So your whole thing with the boys, don't try that. Because I don't really want to kill anybody else. It's kind of difficult. And again, I'm not actually killing them, but I'm setting them up to get killed, and that's just difficult to do. Because I've got like a 200-year streak of not killing humans, just like almost killing them and then leaving them in an alley. And I really don't want to break that streak. It's a really good streak. It's a good boy streak. Anyways, I'm really excited, and it's gonna be a great adventure, and we're gonna have all these great like fun times on the road. Wouldn't it be great? Another thing, I can't go out during the day if you can't tell, because I'm a vampire. I go out during the day, typical. The sun burns me, and then I'm just dead. So here's a funny story. We'll be traveling opposite of how you normally do. So I would probably change up your sleep schedule for me real quick. So quit your job. Yeah, don't worry about money. I got the money covered. Don't worry. Quit your job, and then what I'm gonna have to ask you to do after you quit your job is to start sleeping during the day, staying awake at night, and don't worry, I'll wake you up at night. That's no big deal. And then in about 2 to 3 days, we're gonna be leaving. So we're gonna do the opposite. So every single night, at the end of the night, when the sun's coming up, we get a motel and we sleep there. And then we sleep there during the day, and then at night we leave. Also, I know you're probably thinking about this. Don't go to the police, because there's a lot of vampires in the city, and some of them are actually in the police as night duty, and they don't know they're vampires. They just think, wow, that person's really sickly and pale. But no, it's a vampire. And if I find out that you went to them, let's just say we don't want to have another Constantinople incident. I don't want to murder a bit of the city. That's all I've got to say. Alright, sweet, fantastic. Okay, so you're gonna be coming with me, and I wouldn't tell anybody about where you're going or anything. I'm gonna ask you to leave your cell phone with me right now. Thank you. Can you give me that? Alright, cool. I know this is a lot to take in, and I'm really happy, if you can't tell right now. But don't worry, I'll get dark and broody if that's what you're into. And it's gonna be a great adventure. One more thing, actually. I was about to go. I almost turned all the way into a bat, actually, which would have been kind of awkward for you to just watch me go away after, I just dumped all this on you. So there was one guy I know you really liked. His name was Jeffrey or something. Anyways, he went out on a couple of dates, actually, not just one. Normally I just take him out after one because they're just not allowed. You're my property. But, he went on a couple dates with you. He slipped through my radar somehow. I think I was probably napping or something. And, so I actually have to deal with him now because he's still around in the city. That one wasn't me. That one was just him not liking you. But, he's crazy. So what I'm gonna do is, again, I'm not gonna kill him. But if, he's found later, hung upside down with, cuts going down his wrists and blood all coming out, that's gonna be a fun police report, by the way. But that wasn't me killing him. It was just gravity that ended up, drawing all the blood out. Anyways, are we cool? Alright, sweet. Can't us to go on this fantastic adventure together. Anyways, I would like to just say one more thing before I go. I really, really, truly believe that I am in love with you, so just keep that in mind. Alright? Alright, I love you.
Hey, I'm glad you were able to meet me out here. Yeah. I'm also glad you didn't tell the cops. Throughout the week, I was watching you, and it would seem that, well, you didn't say anything to anybody. So that means we can continue on as usual. Or as planned, at least. Now, okay, listen, you can't object to this. I've decided you're coming with me, and that's final. Alright? Tonight is not the night of a full moon, so we should be able to trudge through the woods relatively quietly. I'm gonna have to ask you to keep your voice down, though. If you were to see anything off-putting from me, just know that I'm defensive of you because you're in the dark. Alright? Alright, sweet. Okay, follow me. So, I wanted to talk to you a bit more about where we're going. But first, I'm going to tie this rope around your hands. Yeah. Alright, come on. I don't want you to get any ideas about escaping me or hurting me at all. Alright? Alright, sweet. Because any sort of disruption out here could be difficult. Let's just might say. Alright? Alright, fantastic. Come on. You know, I never expected you to be so prudent about coming with. I always thought you'd be more accepting of the situation. I don't know. I sort of assumed you were, and I put this on, you were undecided on how you felt about the city, but apparently you liked it a lot. Can understand wanting to leave the city. I mean, your parents don't live there, your family doesn't. I did some research on them, by the way. I know your mother and father are divorced. I'm sorry to hear about that. But I doubt they'll be much worried. You won't be seeing them again. Yeah, you'll be fully indoctrinated into this world that you live in. Yeah. Anyways, by this world, I'd like to let you know that I mean my world. It's the world you now live in, you're now part of. You have to deal with the fact that almost all those things you thought weren't real. You know, just stories that nurses would tell their, people they're watching over, children, pretty much. A lot of those are true. There are indeed vampires as well, werewolves, all sorts of demons, all these factions living underneath the surface of this world, hidden from everybody else. And as much as I would like to think that they all have an understanding, we don't. The werewolves and vampires, it's been a story almost as old as time about them fighting. And it's none of that Twilight shit where, they fight but they're really friends and shit like that. No. We don't get along at all. And when we go out to fight, it's out for blood. Yeah. I would say over the years, thousands and thousands, possibly millions, have died because of it. Yeah. I am quite old, as I told you last time, but I found that there are people well, calling them people, be charitable. I found that there are demons, you might say, that are much, much older than me, much more powerful. See, age in our world is a relatively important number. The older you are, the more experience you have, the more abilities you know and that have been unlocked to you. Unless you have somebody training you that is much older as well, you tend to never, ever be able to reach that higher level without spending years and years practicing and practicing and practicing. I did have somebody help me, so for a couple 3,000 years old, I am well versed, let's say, in my ability to perform functions and actions that are required of me. Anyways, smell that? Well, of course you don't. It seems the wolves are far enough away. In their human form, they're relatively, weak. They still have some of that super smell and super strength that you would typically expect from their kind, but it's not exactly a confirmed thing. Their speed is a lot slowed down, and they're a lot more manageable in their human form. Yeah, there only seem to be a couple of them. I doubt they're going to attempt to fight us or cause any issues like that, but I do think we should be careful, so go ahead and start moving quickly with me. Come on. So, I want to let you know that there is no choice for you anymore. My smell is going to be constantly around you, and if you were to escape, you'd be possibly mistaken for me, and if not, you'd be killed for sympathizing with me. That's of course unless another vampire finds you, and I very much doubt they will treat you like I will. On that note, please do not try to run away. I'm typically more gentle with those I bring with me. I like to think of them as companions, though I guess the proper term would be pets. I will feed on you when time comes. That's alright. Typically the process doesn't tend to kill anybody or end anybody's life, but it has become, how would I say, difficult for some people to be able to accept. It's an unfortunate phenomenon, and it's weird. Some people find it actually quite pleasurable. But after I feed, you would need a couple days to relax and rejuvenate, until which I'll feed again. I chose you for a number of reasons, not because I just liked the way you acted, the way you kindly treated everybody that you knew, but also the fact that you weren't unpure in any way. Not only pure of heart, but pure of mind and pure of body. Typically the blood you feed on as a vampire tends to affect your mood. You feed on somebody incredibly angry, you tend to become angry and agitated. You feed on somebody that's sad and sorrowful, you become one of those emo vampires, you know. Some of them like to bite their own wrists and stuff like that. But besides that, they tend to become a lot more quiet. They have somebody who's antisocial, and so you're pure in a way that wouldn't affect my current personality and how I am today. Well, yes, I would consider that part of a good side of me, where I don't want to be who I'm not. I know where I am and what my anger is, and the amount of work I do to keep that down, and the amount of time I spend working on myself to keep me from becoming something I'm not. There was a time where there was a major human war, which you would think was fought between, let's say, two different factions or nations, about Byzantium and the Ottoman Turks. Well, the Turks were almost entirely vampires, while the Ottomans were a race of demons, fallen angels, if you will. They had angered one of our great leaders, and he declared they should be destroyed. And so when I said I didn't want another Byzantium situation to happen, well, the reason for that is the siege of Byzantium, where thousands were put to the sword. Those thousands were not humans, even though there was no actual evidence of it being otherwise. Those thousands were vampires. And I don't regret telling you any of this. It helps us pass the time. We're almost out of the forest, as you can see ahead. Come on, we're heading to a brand new life. You're coming with me, and nobody else can take you from me. I'd like to let you know that the more I spend time watching you, the more I learn about you, the more I study you from the shadows, the more I realize that I am truly in love with you. But that is a story for another time. Come on, I have a bunch of other vamps waiting for me up here. Keep your head down, don't say anything, I'll just assume, okay? Alright.
Who are you?
Hey, let's sit down. I'm gonna pour myself a drink. Hope you don't mind. I saw you with that boy today. He was cute. Yeah. You know, when you make decisions, you need to think about what the consequences are going to be for you and those like you. So, tell me, what drove you to talk to this person? Well, I mean, not just talk to him. You did give him a hug, locked eyes with him for maybe too long. Generally caused me some issues. Would you not agree? Well, I'll have you know that I took care of the problem. Oh yes, don't worry, he died quickly, let's just say. I chose not to make it a scene. Sometimes it's better as a vampire to simply stab, not use your fangs. I know it would be much easier to tear them apart, but then there'd be questions about how or why somebody would do this, and that could lead to exposure of my friends, and I just can't have that. So I went with the very stereotypical knife in the chest. Don't worry, I left it. Unfortunately, I've been doing this for quite a while, and ever since DNA and fingerprints became a thing, I've been more observant. I almost got caught once back in '63, but that's no question for right now. The point is, I don't think they're ever going to find the killer. But they do think it was a human, so I have that. You know, it's a common misconception as vamps just drink blood. I mean, that's all we eat. But, you know, alcohol does nothing for us. I'm legitimately just drinking it because whatever's left of my extremely dead taste buds, gin does a good job of waking those up, and it's a nice feeling having something that's not so thick going down your throat. That sounded like something else, but I think you understand. So please, elaborate to me. Why? Well, when we left the city, I told you were mine, and you weren't anybody else's, and you've gone out of your way to change that. And that's not fair, I might say. I think that's quite difficult for me to wrap my mind around, but that's alright, that's okay. I think I'll be able to handle the problem just fine. With you, that is. It's simple. You've been disappointing me for quite some time, and I think I need to teach you manners. And some people think that manners are taught by, growing up by your parents and such, but I beg to disagree. I think you only gain manners through extreme personal pain, and let me just let you know, I take no joy in knowing that I'll have to do this to you, but I think it's for the best if you don't mind to agree with me. Well, yeah, some people might find it distasteful, but I don't. I think that it's fun to know that you're going to change your attitude. You're going to stop this crusade against me and my control, because that's not fair to me. And it's especially not fair to you, don't you agree? Yes, of course you agree, because you have to, because I wouldn't let you disagree with me. Well, it's very simple then. I always said I wouldn't feed on you. Or maybe I did. Sometimes I have difficulties remembering, I have been alive for so long that some of these memories get kind of jumbled up, but that's no point. The point is, looks like I will be. Now, I hope you're not different, because some people find this experience to be more of a, how would I put this? A pleasurable experience to a degree. I don't know. Some people have different, varying degrees of what they enjoy, but that's not the point. I don't really care, because I'm not interested in making it feel good for you or being gentle at all. I think it's going to be quite painful, and I'm almost positive you will at least pass out from the pain, if not more. But if you were to die, you'd be brought back. That's unfortunate, but it's a sad reality that you can't escape me ever, and you will be stuck with me forever mine, and I think that's kind of fair, actually. Well, fair for me, not for you. I think that's just what I deserve. I think after all the things I've done, and all of what I've been through, I think I deserve somebody like you for the rest of my life. Don't you agree? Anyways, I don't think you really want this to happen, but it looks like you have absolutely no choice, which is depressing to say the least, but I think reality is depressing. Don't you agree? Alright, anyways, it's very simple. Now, another thing, and this is more of a tangent, I would say, than a serious note. That boy, why him? It's a good question, and it's just a personal one. Oh, so you knew him from school? Okay. Did you tell him? No, never mind. Of course you told him about me. That's not a question. that I need answering. I'm glad I killed him personally. I don't typically like getting my hands dirty, especially with the blood of something so feeble and lowborn as a human. But as you do, it's sometimes you have to, and I'm glad I did. That's again just me personally. Well, I think we've arrived at a bridge here. It's very simple. You don't actually get to choose, and I think I decided my best punishment for you would be most definitely feeding on you a little bit, possibly breaking an elbow or something. I want you to think about it. You look surprisingly pale. Seems like you just realized that this is certainly reality, isn't it? Yes, it is. And you don't necessarily have a choice, do you? And I don't think it hit you until that point right now that this isn't an argument you can have. And I'm not somebody that you get to talk your problems out with, because I expect having no problems. Fantastic. Are you really? Well, it's getting close to day, and I've kept you up all night with my, how would I say, incessant rambling, poking you, pretty much forcing you to stay awake, as I've been doing for the last 3 or 4 nights. You are almost about to fall asleep, so I'm gonna leave you here alone to do that. And I want you to just remember that when you wake up, you'll be in a new place, and you will find a mark on your neck. I'd just like to let you know. Alright, now with that very joyful feeling, cheers, and good night.